Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. President Bush made some news on his final full day in office, but not as many people had expected. The president granted no pardons and only 2 commutations. White House correspondent Wendell Goler reports.
In the end, President Bush's relatively small 8-year total of pardons and commutations, half the number of Presidents Reagan and Clinton, was a bigger surprise than the people they went to. A day before Barack Obama's inauguration, Mr. Bush commuted the sentences of former Border Patrol agents Ignacio Ramos and Jose Compean, found guilty in 2006 of shooting a Mexican drug smuggler. Aides say privately Mr. Bush felt their 11- and 12-year prison terms were too harsh and that they and their families had suffered enough. Iowa Republican Congressman Steve King says the commutations show the president's compassionate conservatism.
And on his last day in office, he's given the best gift that he could give to the families of agents Ramos and Compean.
Mr. Bush himself was initially skeptical of the pardon requests.
According to a jury of their peers, these officers violated some standards. On this case, people need to take a hard look at the facts.
His aides noted the smuggler was unarmed and was shot in the buttocks, but because they were police officers, Ramos and Compean were kept in isolation for their own safety, and because it was a gun crime, they weren't eligible for parole. Conservatives were angry the president didn't pardon them right after their conviction.
As Ramos and Compean enter prison, it is symbolic of this president's wrong-headedness and arrogance.
Talk show hosts, including Rush Limbaugh, took up their cause. The president's power to pardon is absolute, but Lanny Davis, who worked in the Clinton administration, says it should be used sparingly.
My understanding is that President Bush has exercised this power very rarely. I think it would be bad form, learning from what happened to President Clinton, to exercise the pardon on the very last night of his administration.
On the last day of his administration, Mr. Clinton pardoned the ex-husband of a woman who'd contributed to his library. Mark Rich was a tax fugitive, and Eric Holder, Mr. Clinton's deputy attorney general and Barack Obama's attorney general nominee, is still paying for the pardon.
I made mistakes, and my conduct, my actions in the Rich matter was a place where I made mistakes.
There was speculation the president would protectively pardon people involved in warrantless wiretaps or waterboarding, but the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act protects telephone companies and their workers for the wiretaps, and President-elect Obama has made clear he doesn't intend to go after people who used interrogation methods. He's also made clear he intends to end. Brett?
Wendell, the last full day in office for President Bush, what did he do?
Well, he made a bunch of phone calls, Brett, to some current